Bear down. Bear down.
It's a bear down.
Who you finna call? Bearsbanter. First things first, what's the team in question? Heard Soldier Field got a couple lethal weapons. Bear down, first down, couple key possessions. Come to the post game, watch them teach some lessons. Say, what? I don't think them people are convinced. I say call them, but they tell you how to read a blitz. They in cover 2. Tell me why they switch to cover 6 every Friday at 7:30. No, I cannot miss. Like, Hey, yo. Yeah, we live for the post game show.
Welcome to Bears Banter. After a nice stellar win, the Bears beat the Browns 31-3. And anybody that's outside to run into the racists will probably tell you to go back to Africa and take them with you. Let's get
it. Bears win. Bears win.
Club,
man.
I'll take it.
I'll take it too. Man, club. I know they out there now saying good, better, best. Never let it rest. Till your good get better, until your best get best.
I'll take it.
They earned that money today because it's cold. It is chilly.
It's a lot warmer when you win. Actually, we ended up playing at Soldier Field. It was about the same temperature when we played Tilden, Bernard.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, I remember we had those big old fans and everything to get heat. You know, it hurt. You didn't want to come out the game, but you definitely wanted to get in front of them heaters. So that affects the change of the game every time. So,
okay. Hey, when y'all think about this game, I mean, it was evidently after a few plays, you kind of realized the Bears were a better team than this team, but they did kind of let them hang around a little bit where they made it look like that they could get back in it, but. You got to just kind of close teams out like this a little bit earlier. They kind of played around with them a little bit.
You know what? I will say this about Shedeur Sanders, man. All the criticism that this kid gets. You see that one sack that he got was totally unblocked. I mean, hey, it is what it is. I'm glad we on this side of the ball, but that Myles Garrett cat is a monster, dude. It's this weather. I think that every player that plays football in this weather, you earn part of your contract for it because it ain't nothing nice out there.
Yeah, they looking to see if we're going to get a dome for the next stadium. Man, it's part of the home field advantage, though.
That's like when I was a kid, man. My uncle took me to a Vikings versus Bears game in Minnesota. This is back in the old Met Stadium where it was like nothing. It's crazy. It's one thing to be an athlete and you're running around somewhere, but you sit in the stands like this and it's like 2 degrees and Minnesota wind chill like in the high double digits, like the 40, 50. There's nothing that you can do to stay warm, man.
Did you take off your shirt, guy, like the people on TV?
No, I had a bird chest, man. I couldn't do it. I didn't want to scare people.
Man, you gotta have a lot of beverages in you to be out there right now. I mean, yeah. my cousin played.
What you got playing?
Man, look. First of all, I'm gonna dedicate today's game to Shady McCoy and some of the other pundits. I've been listening to them all leading up to the game, talking about how Shedeur was gonna use this game to show Caleb how to play quarterback, and Caleb actually isn't a good quarterback, and Shedeur is going to beat him. And I was like, wait a minute. First of all, Shedeur is playing with 4 of his linemen out.
Yep.
They got the number 1 or the number 2 defense, and they had their starting corner, their starting Pro Bowl corner out. So talking about delusion, I don't understand why all of these pundits can't stand the Bears, and specifically why they don't like Caleb Williams. But at this point, they starting to take their lumps too. You had a 9-3 team, and you picked them to lose to a 3-10 team. I think they got exactly what they had coming to them.
But that's not intel, though. That's hate.
31-3. I think that's a pretty significant win.
It's hate.
Yeah, I agree. I see a comment out there from Leon that said Myles Garrett is a beast. He definitely is a beast.
Yeah.
The Bears control the tempo of this game. I mean, a lot of us might cheer for Shador, but man, this had to be the worst game Shador had all year, and the Bears made it have a worse game for him. I was looking at the one interception by Jalen Johnson, and I thought that was a touchdown. I mean, because it looked like the guy had the ball, and I was trying to figure out why was Jalen Johnson running towards the end zone trying to like showing off. I'm like, what is he doing? Man, that was a good throw, but just a bad catch by the offensive guy that allowed the defender to just take it out of his hands.
Anytime you can't count on your receiver that had a ball hit him in the hands in the end zone, things ain't gonna get no better. And the funny thing about Jerry Jeudy, he didn't say nothing with all of these other suck quarterbacks that were out there playing with him the last few years. But as soon as he gets Shador out there, he want to get in his ear and cuss him out and all of that stuff in front of the cameras. He needs to concentrate on playing wide receiver. Clearly.
You know what I'm angry about? I'm angry about one of my favorite wide receivers of all time, Steve Smith, apologizing for calling him a jag. Just the guy. Because my thing is, this dude been popping off since he been in the league. He had 2 catches for what, 22, 23 yards? You get them type of stats, just shut the hell up. That's all I got.
Yeah. Well, we did have another guy get hurt in the pregame, Roma Duze. So we need to find out what's going on. Everybody getting hurt.
What did the Bears go live in pregame? You know, what's going on there?
It must be turning up in the locker room or something.
He had a cold air sprain. that doggone wind went down the back of his trousers. It's like my hamstring, my leg. Wait a minute. I said my left leg. Oh, this leg. Yeah, no. Man. But it's different though, man. These guys nowadays. Maybe it's just me. It's just a completely different type of player now. But like back to this whole Myles Garrett thing. Myles Garrett is the type of guy like I used to equate to like a Derek Jeter. You hate the Yankees and you hate your opposing players, but you don't boo the guy. I couldn't even boo that dude, man. That dude is just nothing short of sensational. But you want to talk trash. If Myles Garrett wants to talk trash, I'll accept it. But Jerry Jeudy, they need to go ahead and take dude in the locker room and take him over to the hospital, put some stitches on his mouth.
First of all, they know.
Hey, Leon said it was so cold outside, he got hurt the pregame himself. He came back in the house.
Hey, man, nobody else trashed him out. You seen that dude with his shirt on the post game?
I did.
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Garrett. Yes. Thank you.
I tell you what, man. This today's game represents coaching malpractice. So you looked at the difference between the Bears coach, Ben Johnson. He had his team ready to go out there. He knew it was going to be cold. They practiced in the cold all week. So he prepared his team to actually be able to play this game. Versus Kevin Stefanski, this dude has been doing football, NFL malpractice the entire year. How do you have a second string quarterback, third, forget that. How do you have a quarterback on your roster that is one play away from being in the game and you never have him practice with the first team defense? You never let them hit his cadence. You never let him do any of these things. So, he's as a coach, he's still upset for whatever reason that the Browns got Shador Sanders, and he's been trying to sabotage the young man. And he's sabotaging him. I'll tell you why he's doing it. Because he believes he's safe. In the NFL today, no quarterback, no coach is going to be safe unless you get the W's. So NFL. I like to see how this offseason ends up faring for him because he's not as good a coach as he thinks he is.
Yeah, we already know how. I think the Bears came out there and they had a lot at stake. And I know when you watch the Browns, I know they beat Tennessee lost to Tennessee last week, but that team is really not playing for anything other than reps and just finishing out the season. Yep. They put themselves in that position, to be honest. I mean, you had Kenny Pickens in camp, you had Joe Flacco in camp, you had 2 rookies that you drafted, and you had I think Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes. I mean, when you look at that, that's like I don't see how anybody even getting reps, right? Because you don't even know, and you got then you got Watson on the staff, but hey, that's their problem. You know, I mean, I cheer for Sador to have played well when he don't play us. I'm glad he got 3 interceptions, let our guys pad our stats. We shut down Keyshawn Johnson. He couldn't even get any space to run the ball. This was, you know, if you look at this game, even offensively, the Bears after the first drive was clicking well. Actually, they probably had more drop passes than they did actually like any errant throws. Maybe 3 throwaways, but you had 1 good contested pass. The rest of them were drops. You probably had you could classify about 6 or 7 passes today that were just legitimate drops.
Dude.
Well, you also saw our old Bears player Tevin Jenkins got out there at offensive guard. He played about 10, 11 plays, and then he got hurt. So the same things that Tevin Jenkins was doing when he was with the Bears is what he's been doing in Cleveland too. I mean, it's kind of sad. It just allows us to kind of look and see some of the decisions that the Bears brass has made as far as how to build their teams, and it made more sense to revamp the entire offensive line than trying to pick and choose and get a couple of these other guys that they thought were going to be okay. Tevin Jenkins looked horrible today, and he didn't finish the game either.
Okay. Hey, Sue, thank you for your comment. I see where you mentioned that Cam Newton also said that Shador was going to outplay Caleb. He wasn't even close to outplaying him, but hey, he's a rookie, and that's what you do. You show a rookie different looks that they're not used to seeing, and they're usually going to make those mistakes. Hey, what's up, Melissa? What you got, quick?
Yeah, that pick by CJ Gardner-Johnson.
That was amazing, man.
Rolling off the end back into a flat player was amazing. It you know, you try to confuse him because he hasn't seen a lot of different looks as of yet. I mean, he's only been in for what, maybe 3-4 weeks now, and just now starting reps and, you know, really getting into the flow of the game. But they did confuse him a little bit. We got 3 picks, same usual suspects getting picks. Glad your cousin got a pick after he got burnt back. He
did get roasted, didn't he?
Man, he running after that dude like a New York taxi.
I said last week, Moses said that why does ESPN, you know what it is, or what it is like your general consensus always wants to make themselves feel like that they're experts and they're right. The only person I would say, and a lot of people may disagree with me, the reason why I'm gonna give Cam a pass on this whole thing that he said is because I think Cam's was really less about hate and more so trying to pump this kid up because he's looking around. Think about it. We all sat up here at the draft and we talked about it, and you know, we were kind of upset, like, why the hell is Shador going so low? And then this report out said that he didn't interview well, he was nonchalant, which we ended up finding later was some BS. Now what's happening is Stefanski, you got people that love Stefanski's own wife and them is trying to get him fired right now. That's how bad it is. But the kid he's doing the best that he can for what he has, and he's got 4, you know, starters, offensive linemen, so starters out for doing what he's doing. But what's happening now is the eye test is coming out. People starting to look at this like, wait a minute. Now they starting to believe all that stuff, but neither here nor there. This kid gonna be probably stuck in Cleveland. Whoever the next coach is, hopefully they can get some guys around him, man, and help him prosper. But outside of that, I don't care. We won.
You know, I'm happy that Caleb had a good game today.
Yeah, he did.
He was. I mean, we're seeing. I was glad to see DJ Moore get 2 touchdowns a day. I mean, good to see our players smiling, man. You know, he's getting involved in the game. Man, in that one throw, man, I swear, I thought, I was like, man, that's just a bad throw. Like, what? You know, my mind, I'm saying, what? Why did Caleb throw that? I didn't even see DJ, and DJ came down with that ball in the midst of that. Now, I will say that was a risky throw, but if you don't believe Caleb has vision, because you had to have vision to even see that throw. Because all I saw was a crowd of guys that looked like they probably was going to pick it, and DJ emerged with that ball. There's a few times where I say in this game, I'm sorry, I saw a comment about it. How do we slow down those deep passes next week? Great question, because we allow 140-yard play in the second quarter, but fortunately we did not let them score. And this is almost falling. It almost fell into that same pattern of allowing a big play right before halftime. But good thing the Bears was able to prevent them. They gotta just, when they sell out, they gotta be able to get there. And then there was a couple of plays where guys were beat deep, and either because of the wind or maybe pressure that the ball just didn't get there. I'm not sure why the ball didn't get there. I don't know. Did he underthrow it, or was it pressure, or was it wind? Because it seemed like the wind wasn't consistent. So I don't know. But we got to get up on those plays, because it could have been about 3 plays. And I hate talking about coulda, shoulda, wouldas, because it didn't happen.
But you know what? Let me ask the DBs real quick. Let me ask y'all. If you know that, say you guys are running safety, you know your corners aren't that great, they aren't as fast, you don't have as fast defensive backs, how do you sort of, I don't want to say neutralize it, but how do you kind of sort of soften the blow of getting beat like that all the time?
I don't know what Quick is going to say, but I'm going to say you don't. And that's what you see. So. What you got, Quick?
I mean, yeah, that's part of doing your job in man to man. That's what it's called. You know, if you're in man to man, you should be near that man. Like, yeah. So, yeah, guy, you're not supposed to get burnt like that, especially if you're an NFL corner. Yeah,
you expected to run. So at some point, you ran at least a 4.5. That should actually show up in the game. You shouldn't be 10 yards behind a wide receiver in a 30-yard sprint ever.
I just think our defensive backs maybe just need to go to a little red schoolhouse because they keep getting burnt.
Hey, Sue, I do agree with you. I do believe, and I mentioned it in the post-game show that we re-recorded on Monday, that the Bears pass rush is kind of slow. They pass rush has to get there a little faster, because you could see them times where it looked like they're laboring when they should be seem like getting a little closer. So if somehow they can pull off something, I agree with you. If they could get more closing speed when they're, because matter of fact, that one play, that's kind of how they got burnt. It just was just too much time, and it seemed like guys kind of like, what at some point you get your defensive line to be able to stop the run. But the way the NFL has trended in the last maybe 15 to 20 years, your guys on the outside are usually more athletic, faster guys. Myles Garrett is he's just a different type of guy. He's a big guy that could close. I mean, usually your defensive ends kind of look more like Michael Parsons now, or like a Max Crosby, where they kind of like, he big, but they're a little bit thinner. But man, Myles Garrett is a beast. But I'm glad we was able to move the ball on them. I thought Swift ran very well today. Mm-hmm. I thought Colston Loveland, I don't know what his final stats were. He made some pretty nice catches in this game.
Loveland was 4 receptions for 63 yards, man. But that catch that he made, man, it's like it was a great catch in itself. But as cold as it was for him to just have his hands out, like, man, amazing.
Yeah. So, Bernard, I got a couple of answers for you. So, first of all, as far as the speed, you see the difference between a Kyler Gordon being out on the field versus not having him available. CJ Gardner-Johnson doesn't have the foot speed to keep up with wide receivers at this point, and Kyler Gordon is a lot more versatile. He has the ability of doing that. So, you're hoping that he comes back and, he ends up implementing some of the things that got him to this position, but that's where the Bears are really hurting. Also, I want to mention a couple things. Caleb Williams broke an NFL record today.
Yeah.
He's the first quarterback that with over 1,000 passes that only has 12 interceptions. I know some of these NFL records are kind of dubious. He's the first guy that scored a touchdown on in the third quarter with 2 minutes left on a Sunday after 3 p.m. That's kind of silly, but that lets you know a couple things about Caleb Williams. He is definitely great at protecting the ball and keeping it out of harm's way. So all the other things that he's doing, he's not turning the ball over. Also, I want to say something really quick about Cam Newton. And, some of the things that he was talking about, Cam Newton is really upset today because instead of somebody trying to get him to get in and be that replacement quarterback, they went to 44-year-old Phillip Rivers. So if you're a 36-year-old guy somewhere around the peak of your athletic ability, and they decide to go to somebody granddaddy who got 10 grandkids and 45 kids and all of that stuff to play quarterback, that should humble you a little bit. So he's still seething over that a little bit.
Yeah. You know what? I like Cam's show whenever he's kind of animated, and sometimes he stay on the game changer stuff. I don't want to get too far away from the game in front of us today, but I want to make a comment. When I saw Cam last play, to me, his arm looked about as good as my arm. I mean, I probably could throw it a good 5 or 7 yards before it hit the ground. He was dirting a lot of balls for whatever reason. I know he had, I think it was a laborment. I think if I'm saying that right, he had a laborment injury when he was with the Panthers, and then he just didn't look like he could throw the ball when he last played for Carolina. When he played for the Patriots, he just looked like a guy whose arm was dead, and he continued to say he could play. Dude, file your retirement papers. You cannot. Your arm is dead. You look like a pitcher who just can't pitch no more. It's okay. Just go ahead and foul. Now, as far as the thing with Phillip Rivers, I mean, I don't know. Maybe because he played for him, it looks like a bad decision to me. I don't know, because you got a guy that he looks grossly out of shape. So it's not only if he played in the offense, he doesn't even look like he was even like in shape to play football. But anyway, back to our game today. The Bears win 31-3. Man, I was hoping they didn't get a garbage touchdown, man. I was hoping they didn't get that.
And they didn't, but Shedeur, he actually went out and made a good account of himself. He stood in the pocket. He tried to read the defense. He stood strong. So I don't think there's anything wrong with his performance. That was not on him. You can't throw him out there with some of those hockey pucks at offensive line and expect him to be successful. His receivers were also terrible. I think the Browns today had about 20 people that normally play for their team that were on injured reserve and missed this game. So that's extremely hard to have an expectation that Shedeur Sanders was going to be able to overcome all of that. He would have done better against the Bears if his own team wasn't the ones that were trying to sabotage him.
Look, man, let's respond to this little Jesus talking about Luther Burden. Luther Burden is a problem, dude. It's like every time he get he definitely had a problem for us, but he's just different, man. That speed is amazing. It's just like I want to see what's going to happen to him in the years coming, man, how he progresses, man, because he could be a star. He could be a star. He's got everything, man. And that speed, he had 6 receptions for 84 yards today. And in that 40 piece that he had, that 40-yard catch he had, ain't nothing you can really do about that, man. Speed kills.
Yeah, he doesn't go down easily either. I mean, that dude, some of the moves he was putting on them looked like they was playing Techno Bowl. I was like, dude.
Tyrone Biggums.
He looked like Quick out there at wide receiver.
Yeah,
he led the teams in targets today. Not only he had 6 catches, he was targeted 7 times, and actually that one he actually dropped one because it actually hit his hands. Yeah, but I thought today, looking at this team, this is kind of what I would say a lot of us envision that this offense will be, maybe with a few more run yards. I mean, it was looking like these guys were unguardable when you look at it, right? You was like, okay, Burton, DJ, Loveland, Komet, right? Then you was like, wow, then you started the cycle again. Once they was kind of clicking, and if the Bears could take this kind of momentum, as they try to position themselves in the playoff and bring it to next week, where you could click and go from guy to guy. Because man, you know what I liked about Komet today? He got the ball where it should go, and he didn't fall down. Sorry, I always had this thing about Komet that it don't matter where the ball hit him at. Some reason he falls on the ground, he jumps in the air, he makes it look like it's a diving play for some reason. Right?
Oh yeah.
What you got, quick?
Nah, I mean, this is a great overall win. Coming off the loss last week, looked like they were clicking a little bit. It looks like they were a little bit pissed off from losing that game last week, which is actually right where we want them to be. I am looking forward to seeing what the team from up north do today, because this game next week is going to mean a lot for the season. So we'll see what happens.
Okay. Yeah, I think DeAndre Swift had a good game today. I think he had like 98 yards or so. Mm-hmm. So he kept us running, and he's got to be a much better offensive back, a running back, over the last half of the season. This is something that I didn't see out of him last year. He was kind of a speed back, and he had really no vision. So Eric Bieniemy is doing some great jobs with him. Also, nobody should be that hard on Ozzie Trapillo today. He gave up a couple sacks. He's still a rookie, and he was playing against the mighty Thor over there at defensive end. So
yeah,
yes, he could, dude.
You notice none of his teammates got mad at him. They were like, "Oh, okay, just get up." And you know what he reminds me of? Man, Myles Garrett reminds me a lot of Reggie White, man. It's like, I don't care who you put on that dude, man. That dude, you're not stopping him. In order to double team him, you almost have to, one of the guys would almost have to trip him. He's like a one-on-one, man. I like the fact that Ozzie just stuck in there, though, man. And if you look at, to talk about Swift, the difference between this year and last year, we got competent coordinators that actually know how to get this dude loose, to put him in schemes to make him great. I noticed with the Bears this year, what happens is last year we had a lot of players in positions and they weren't utilized correctly. Now it just seems like you got adults at the helm, and Swift is looking great this year. He didn't even look a tenth of what he looks like this year. He looks like a completely different guy. He reminds me of the guy we saw in Philly now. So let's just hope it stays.
Yeah, thanks. Ed Johnson's got a comment out there. Swift is benefiting from the Ben Johnson offense. I totally agree. And one of the complaints I had about him early in the season and even last year was him shuffling his feet in the same place for no particular reason, especially behind the scrimmage, right? Kind of, and also going down at first initial contact. He's now lowering his shoulder and he's keeping his legs moving, and he's reading his blocks 1,000% better. Because one of the things I criticized him for too was, for whatever reason, he will always cut back to the middle of the field if he was running to the right. It didn't matter if it was more there was more green grass continue going towards the sideline. He would just cut to the middle of the field for no apparent reason. So he seemed to be slowing up and watching his block, and he's running seemed to be with more patient, because one thing about running a ball, you have to sometimes allow your blocks to set up. You just can't just take off and run fast as you can. And, that I'm thinking about a back that worked for a little while was Chris Johnson. When he played for Tennessee, he used to get the ball and just run fast as he can. But as time went on, that didn't work.
It didn't work no more.
You're getting yacked. I get yacked. I mean, you're getting just blasted.
Yeah.
I think we're better at second level.
I think Swift benefiting from a real good F word, and that's called familiarity. I know you guys
that ain't the F word I thought, but okay.
Familiarity. I know that little squirrel was up there like, yeah, oh my God. So he's benefiting from the F word. Yeah, but being in the system before, and playing for Johnson, he's got a lot of confidence in him, and that he's and kind of with both of them, because Johnson kind of puts him in positions to succeed. Calls the plays for him, and you gotta know too. We had some imposters in here the past couple years, fake play callers and stuff, and so they didn't know what to do with him. I mean, he was with Johnson before, and so he kind of knows, where to put him at and how to get him going. He's been doing well this season, actually. And man, I lost my damn parlay because Monungai didn't score, and that's what I was saying. I was like, you don't even know who to pick from the Bears on a parlay bet, and I knew mother son of a.
Yeah, that one. I think our second level blocking is much better this year too. I think that a lot of times, maybe I could be wrong. Maybe last year Swift didn't have the confidence of the blocking and stuff. He's like, hey man, I need to stay in this game. Let me go ahead and take an L. But now he's seeing that the guys are getting to that second level, giving the extras. I've seen some montage of our offensive line, man, where they opened it up. We could have drove a bus through the line. So
it don't look like he's running blindfolded no more. So that's a good
thing.
Yeah. In the previous years, they were blocking blindfolded. Shit, run behind people that can't block.
Hey, I'm gonna run this for a second. The post game. Let's see what we have.
Hopefully have more information tomorrow. Amon didn't finish. He had a hamstring that we'll see the severity tomorrow as well. And then Rome had a little re-aggravation of the foot. So we'll see where he's at as well going forward. Beyond that, in terms of the game, I thought the guys did a great job coming out and taking care of the business. We talked about that here this week. You come off a very highly emotional game the week before, and we ended up on the loss side of that one. And it's the easy thing to do is allow that to spiral out of control. And the guys didn't allow that to happen. They came back to work and handled the process really well. And like I said, they took care of business here this week. I thought the coolest thing about it, not only the weather, those guys handled it extremely well, but to see our fans come out in full force like they did and really made an impact on that game. You could hear them, you could feel them on out there. And I could tell that our opponent was struggling with the crowd. So we're going to need that going forward. Couple more home games here this regular season, and we'll keep it moving. I can't say enough good things here about our defense. I think this was really an outstanding performance. I know we gave up a couple explosives that we'd like to have back, but outside of one or two plays, they really did a phenomenal job, shutting down the run game, making it second and long, third and long, and getting off the field. When you combine that with the takeaways, once again, 3 takeaways there in the second half, which were enormous for us. It really, I thought, carried the day for us. Offensively, tough opponent. That's a really good defense. We talked about it being a top 3 defense going into the week, and that proved to be the case. We had some success at times, but yet it wasn't as consistent as we would like it to be. Moved the ball somewhat well in the first half, but yet didn't capitalize with points the way we would like to. And in the second half, we were able to find a couple more opportunities for points. So all in all, I thought it was a pretty good day. Special teams came through for us. Duvernay had some big returns.
Good job.
Yeah, good job, man. They actually could have probably had, 4 interception. Actually, Wright had one that he was not able to corral in. I was calling it a pick fest today. Like, who's next, right? Who else want one? Man, you have to be proud of that unit. The D-back coordinator. I forget what's the guy's name.
Allen. You talking about Al Harris?
Al Harris. He has to be proud of this guy. I know they showed the display that they have at Hallis Hall where they have all the pictures of every interception, every turnover that they got this year, and they have had all the balls from each game in the basket, man. Almost like a shrine, man. But you got to be proud of your unit to be able to get that many interceptions, fumbles. Defended passes. So even if we talk about maybe giving up explosive play, those guys in that secondary has came up with big plays all year.
Yeah, you're right. They actually they cheated the Bears because the Bears should have had a fumble recovery as well.
Yeah.
They said that his forward momentum had stopped, and that was a terrible call. But the Bears are imposing their will. A lot of teams are out there. They're looking at the stats, and they say the Bears aren't able to stop anybody. But turnovers are a tremendous difference in the game. If you can get the ball and take it away more than you give it away, that puts you in a much better situation.
Oh, I see quick left. Hey, I know people have said all year that getting turnovers the way the Bears getting it are not sustainable. It has been sustainable because they continue to get it. They have had probably turnovers. I don't know what the percentage is, but I would say in almost 80% of the games they played this year, they've gotten some form of a turnover. So it has been sustainable. So we might as well stop that conversation and say, hey, it's not sustainable. It has been.
But that's a mindset too. As a DB, some DBs are out there like, oh, here come the ball. I want to make sure I knock it down. I'm gonna make a tackle. Other DBs, and these are the best ones. They're like, oh, that's my ball right there. So a lot of times when they throw in the ball, the DB is already looking for an opportunity for him to pick it off, and that doesn't happen a whole lot. That's something that's taught, and I think Al Harris is doing a great job.
Hey, it was said in the text group that they were masters of baiting the offense. So, what did no.
God said that, yeah.
A master at baiting quarterbacks. So does that make him a yeah?
No. I'm saying
You're a master.
Too easy.
Right.
When you look at this game, man, it was so many positives. It's almost like you almost can't really man, what should I talk about? Because you left this game feeling like we did what we were supposed to do. So there are things that I would say we still need to clean up, but both units showed up today at the same time, right? But there are things there's always things you got to clean up. I do say, Ben, come on now. Greatest game you be calling at times, do you tend to get cute on short yardage? It was a drive in this game where it was 2nd and 1. You pass on 2nd, you pass on third, and then it's like, okay, man, like what do you do? And we literally gave them that 3 points. We to me, I know you felt you had momentum. We went for it and we didn't get it. And they only needed about 6 or 7 yards to actually get the 3 points. I'm just saying sometimes in those situations, I'm not the coach and I'm nowhere near smart as him. It's times in short yardage where I'm like, we're being too cute. Just bang it up in there and get the yard. Because definitely on 2nd and 1, you can run the ball 2 plays in a row and get first down. And I want to say that was the same series where they actually went for it on 4th and still didn't get it.
That I'm a little bit bothered by that though. So here it is. This is a game that we won 31-3.
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking about the plays that didn't happen or first downs that he could have got. This was a complete annihilation by the Bears. So in the last few years, we have had 0 games like this. So we need to sit back, get yourself, pour out a little liquor, get a little happy or whatever, and let's hope for another performance like this next week. I think the Bears did it as well as I've seen the Bears do in quite a few years. So I'm gonna just ride it that way.
Yeah, I agree with the point. I just bring it up because I think we say the same thing every week. We actually win or lose every week. I think I say something about us being in short yardage on 2nd down where it's 2nd and 1. And I'm just pointing out that that's a pattern of not getting it or going too cute to just get the 1 yard. just get the 1 yard because I'm just saying because the game was so dominant, we have to find something to talk about.
Yeah, but you know what? I think I believe. I look at it from this perspective, and I'm gonna go to baseball. Greg Magg's in the preseason. It's just one guy. He throws him this pitch. This guy clocks this pitch. And the catchers ask him, like, what are you doing? He said, we good. During the regular season, during a money game. Same scenario, same thing. That bat is expecting that same pitch. Maddox goes to the catcher, says, I'm going to throw this pitch. He's going to pop it up to the third baseman. Next play, throws a pitch, pops it up to the third baseman. The catcher just looks at him. To a second one, yeah, you would think it's run. Maybe there's something in that to whereas we're running the ball so well that maybe on the 2nd and 1 to kind of have an element of surprise to keep these guys from trying to stack the box. You know, it could be. You know, I think it may be something that he's probably sees in these defenses, or maybe he's just trying to bait them again.
Or he's being too cute, like we said.
Yeah, could be.
Run the ball, man. Gee.
Or it could be coaching scared. So you got 2nd and 1. As fans, we're like, we got to get the first down. As a coach, he's like, I can get a chunk play out of this. 2nd and 1, I know I might give them a look that's going to look like they're going to run the ball, and that might open up some other things down the field. So at the end of the day, he's coaching his offense, and he's coaching his team, and he's running his offense, and we don't know what that looks like once it's fully implemented. Again, this is the first half of the year. What you got?
So are you guys saying that he's a master at baiting too?
Yes. He is a master at baiting.
So that makes you play math. Never mind. All right. How's that going on around here? Hello. Oh boy. Oh boy. Man.
Glad they outlaw Stickum.
and on the group, soon as Keith Plank Flournoy, the special teams is right now at an A+. Santos misses a kick. Not even 2 minutes later.
You think that was a causal relationship? Is that what you think?
I'm just saying it's really suspicious right now.
I'm looking forward to getting the grades for this because I'm gonna let you know how I feel about what special teams did today.
Oh man!
See what Leon said.
2 minutes later.
But if Komet don't drop, what's that?
Yep. Or the Z don't slip. It's a big play. He's 100% right about that. 100% right.
So what we got here?
Got a Z out there. Does he ever catch passes? I know he got a touchdown last week, but most of the passes that come towards him end up on the ground some kind of way. Or maybe that's just my observation. I thought he was going to be a much better receiver than he's shown himself to be during the season.
Well, he can't fumble a short pass.
He started out kind of hot, and he was kind of the safety blanket. Today he had 3 targets and no receptions. The ball was spread around pretty good today. Burton had 7 targets. DJ had 5 targets. Loveland had 5 targets. Komet had 4 targets. The kids 3. Manon got 2, and Swift 1. That's 27 attempts. That's pretty good spreading around to each guy. And guys were getting enough. Getting open enough for the quarterback to make you a target in the play. And like I said, I was happy for DJ to get 2 touchdowns today. And man, I see we're seeing the budding of a star with Luther Burton. I think we're seeing the budding of a star. This guy is going to be. I know we mentioned it early. He's going to be. He's going to be the real deal.
I think he already is. So this dude, he's getting better every week.
Ball. So you gotta figure out ways to get him the ball. I think they've been trying to be creative too with trying to get him the ball. But I think he's your viable third receiver right now, depending on what happens, contracts and all the other type stuff. And I've seen this kid play when he was in high school, and he was the only thing I didn't like about Luther Burden is that he picked Missouri over Alabama as a receiver, but it still worked out for him. So, yeah.
No, he reminds me a lot of this other receiver that used to be with the 49ers named John Taylor. It's the same thing. When he got on the field, I mean, he had Jerry Rice out there, but when you saw him play, you kind of looked at him like, that's what Burden is, man. Burden's just like, he's like the guy that when he gets on the field and he does his thing, you sort of you sort of shift your attention to this guy. I mean, I think I got some high hopes for this cat, man. I think he's going to be pretty good for us, man. Pretty doggone good.
Yeah, he is.
Man. But the press conference, and I keep stressing this over and over again. How many of these coaches with all this word salad, they just sound great and stuff, and they get on the field and their team sucks and their plan sucks. This guy comes up here and he's talking about, not as much as being satisfied with, although they won, things that they need to correct or whatever. But it seems like when the words come out of his mouth, you actually believe what he says, and you believe that he's trying to implement the things that he does, man. I mean, it's what a coach is supposed to look like. And that whole atmosphere is completely different because now he's holding everybody accountable. Number two, guys want to really play for this cat. And number three, when we were talking about the turnovers, the interesting part about it, I'm starting to see a peanut punch syndrome thing where guys are starting to really not just punch a ball on first down and third down. Every time a guy gets the ball, you see somebody doing this or they're doing the same things. And I don't care what anybody says. People can laugh all they want to. You consistently do that, you're gonna, like he was saying, Bernard, it's like with the being intentional. They're gonna make some big plays. I'm not shocked that they got as many of these turnovers as they do.
Yeah, we even had an interception today by the linebacker today. DeMarco Jackson he got a pick. Who I'm trying to think who all had picks today. Was it TJ, Jalen Johnson?
Awesome.
That was it.
Yeah. That was it.
Marco Johnson had 7 tackles, a sack, a tackle for loss, and a pick. So he might be one of those guys to get a game ball, but by the time the quarterback throws y'all 3 picks, anybody can get one.
Yeah.
How about
he's played really well since he's been in the game. You could tell. Also, you can tell the difference with TJ Edwards being back. You actually hearing them pass crack with TJ. His new speed, see the speed there, the closing speed and stopping guys right there is, man. I love to see it by TJ Edwards, right? Because it's like when he come in, that play ends right there. It's not let's drag a guy a couple of more yards and all that, or is up the field. No, he's bringing you down. Now I know Sweat. I don't believe Sweat had a sack today. I can't remember, but I thought Sweat still.
No, so it was 1-1. He was one.
He's creating pressure in the defense. He actually flashing on the screen. They did make Shedeur uncomfortable today. There was a lot of plays where he was just under pressure, and I give him credit for hanging in there and throwing a couple of balls, but he took a beating today. I think he was sacked about 3 times today, maybe.
But here's a great part about TJ Edwards. If he didn't get Fannin, he didn't crack Fannin like he did. That thing was loud too. When he hit him, he hit Fannin on the run. It's like crack. But if he didn't, you wouldn't have even heard a thing about him. But just goes to show how you got your ghost out there doing this thing. He had 9 tackles with 5 solos and a tackle for loss and 2 quarterback hits. That's some. And it was like, if he had not hit your guy, the first thing I would have said is, damn, I thought TJ Edwards was back. And then you look at the stats, it's like, oh, next man up.
Well, y'all ready for some grades? Y'all ready for some grades?
Let's go. So
okay.
Me and quick to start our weekly argument. Let's go.
As long as you don't do nothing crazy.
Hey, I'll start it off. Offense, you get 31 points. A. Defense, you get 3 interceptions, a couple of sacks. If there was a matter of fact, I'm gonna give them honors. I'm gonna give them an honors A, honors class A, advanced placement A. You held the team to 3, and they wouldn't even have got that if you had punted the ball. This might have been a shutout. They just got that 3 because we went for it and left them a short field. Special teams, you had some good returns. Santos, he that ball was a miss from the time he kicked it. It went off he kicked it sideways. He affected their grade somewhat, but I'm gonna give him, man, between an A- and a B+ because still special teams got in good position. I'm gonna go B+ because you can't be missing that short of a field goal. I mean, that probably was like 32 yards, barely, not too much different than the extra point.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. So
So
what?
y'all
What's up?
What you,
What's up next?
I go. All right, offense, 31 points, ran the ball for over 100 yards, had two backs contributing. We look pretty good. I gave the offense a A+. Defense, anytime you get 3 picks and 5 sacks and you hold the other team in this offensive leaning era, that is a heck of a performance. So I'm giving the defense an A+ too. Special teams, it always hurts when Santos gets out there and I had to rethink this and reanalyze this or whatever, because you expect him to make it. But if these are the short kicks, the expectation should be automatic. So I'm upset with Santos. That said, Duvernay averaged 42 yards on his kickoffs. He actually also averaged 15 yards per punt return. And there was a heck of a play made by, I can't remember the DB. He ended up downing the ball inside the 1 yard line to begin the game.
Yeah.
All of those things together in aggregate, I'm giving the special teams an A-.
A-.
Yep.
Okay. What y'all got, quick guy?
so all right. So let's get into this a little bit. All right. So we got a quarterback with 200 plus yards passing the ball. 2 receiving touchdowns, 2 running touchdowns, some great passes. The catch by Loveland, the diving catch by Loveland was bananas, right? And we had a couple other plays. So I give the offense an A, right? And we get to the defensive side of the ball. Despite Jalen Johnson getting burnt by almost 10 yards, he did come back and make a pick on the same drive. So he rectified his wrong. I guess he went to confessional or something right before that. So I'll give the defense an A. Now, are we grading the special teams with Santos or without? Because I mean, dude, I get nervous every time this dude kicks an extra point. I'll be like, oh my God, come on, get in there. But I'll give special teams, because of Duvernay. I'll give the special teams, I'll say a B+, man, because you got to have the full repertoire of the game, right? Because you can't have an A if you got a missing assignment part, right? So I mean, that's what I got.
Okay, so let's talk about that again, though. When we talk about Santos, he made 4 extra points and he made a field goal. So when we start talking about, he missed it, it's like we're grading on the curve because he made a miss. We're taking the entire score of the rest of the special teams out. Josh Blackwell, don't forget about that stop.
0 in the assignment, man. He's got a 0. If you got 10 assignments and you got a 0 for one of them, and the rest of your grades are graded out good, that 0 still affects the assignment and the grades.
That's still a 90%.
I should say the same thing.
A.
I should say special team offense definitely gets an A+. A+ offense. 31 points in this type of weather in these conditions. They ran the ball. They only had 4 penalties for 25 yards. They had like almost 5 minutes and 44 seconds difference in time of possession. No turnovers. Got to get them A+. Defense A+. Says it all. Special teams, you know what? I'm gonna give them a borderline A, and the reason why. Yes, Santos did miss a field goal. I'm not making excuses for him. He should have made that. That's an easy one. And I should be mad because I had the Bears scoring 34 points today. And if he'd have done it, I would have looked like a Nostradamus. But I'd give them a very low borderline A. Coaching, I got to give them A+, man. Anytime that you only give up 3 points, you put up 31 in like 10-degree weather with some crazy wind chill. But this is just in. Cairo Santos has just been relieved of his Santa Claus duties. He will not be delivering toys to kids on Christmas. He will be ringing a bell at Kmart. So that's all I got, man.
This is the bad part about us talking about special teams and Santos. What is his position?
Kicker.
He's got one job.
Yeah.
He's got one job.
He's actually got two jobs.
What? What's
First job is to make field goals and make extra point. Second job is to make sure the other team has further to go on the kickoffs. He did those jobs very well today for the most part.
It's still it's his job is kicker. He gets to sit up there under the heater all day until it's his time to come out there.
True. Very true.
And now you come up with a 30-yard miss. This wasn't 50. This wasn't
miss kicks, man. That happens, right?
You said what?
Kickers miss kicks. That just, especially in the conditions today.
Especially ours.
Well, if anytime you're going at under 10 degrees, you try to kick the ball, that's going to make the ball go at least 7 to 10 yards less than it normally does. So those conditions actually deter that kick as well.
Yeah, especially when the guy from Cleveland hits a 50-yarder. Really deterred it.
How many of those did he hit today?
I'm just saying he hit a yarder.
Okay.
Our guy missed 32 yards.
So who had a better day? The guy that scored 7 points or the guy that scored 3?
His offense didn't put him in position to score but 3 points.
Ain't my problem.
Wait, how many did he miss?
None.
But he hit a 50-yarder. Our guy missed a 30-burger.
So the guy that scores a layup and Michael Jordan scores 55, you're saying that the layup guy is better because he didn't miss any shots?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, got it.
I guess as we move to these, we got 2 more home games left. We play Green Bay next week, a night game, and what you do got to make sure that you always be accountable for whatever you can when you get in that red zone or field goal range. If you can, you want to come out with points or something, and most time you want to, come out with touchdown versus field goals, but just my overall thought about it. I don't know how they feel about it. I only can express how I feel about it. I felt he was going to miss because he barely even got in the extra point. It was like a line drive extra point that I was like, man, did he miss that? But anyway, that's here or there when you win the game. But when coaches look at this, you have to put the game behind you as soon as you win, right? Because you have to look at, you got a division foe coming up and you got to get your lick back, right? The bully tried to bully you last week. He got you a little bit, but you stood your ground and you took that L, but you fought and held your ground. So you get a chance to get your rematch with him next week before a national audience, and I'm waiting on the Bears to come and show themselves. And man, if we could put it all together like we did today, and I don't want nobody saying, "Oh, that was just Cleveland." That's a good damn defense. That defense is a good defense. Now you can run on them a little bit, but we really didn't. We had good yards running on them, but it wasn't like this was just a dominant run game. We actually were passing on them, and we were moving the ball. So we was moving the ball, passing and running. And this is a top 3 defense, and they usually don't give up these many points. Last week that was that was kind of unusual, right? Because usually their defense don't give up that many points. You don't be a top 3 defense giving up 31 points. That's just not who that team is. So I'm proud of our boys. They went in and bear down Chicago Bears.
Yeah. This is a must win for us though for Green Bay. And the reason why, not just for playoff implications, but think about this: since 1992, we're 52-16 against they're 52-16 against us. One change, there's nothing that changes the culture more than to show that you can actually go in there and say, yeah, we was getting mollywopped and we was losing, but that's over with. I'm hopeful. Well, you know me, man. I would never bet against the Bears or Green Bay. I don't care. We like got what Gothel's elementary school versus the NFL champions, man. I would still vote for Gothel's. I'm sorry.
Yeah, those two. One viewers out on YouTube mentioned 2 sacks were on Caleb, had Swift, and 1 on another. Yeah, I agree the sack was on him. I don't think Swift would have got the first down, but you wouldn't have had a sack in that play. But you know what? It happens, right? It happens. You was able to live to punt the ball. Sacks haven't been an issue this year, so I'm not gonna cry about those 2 sacks because we got a quarterback that took 68 last year, and I think he's somewhere around 22 or 24 with those 2 today. So he's did a lot of sack avoidance this year. And hey, you know what? They had a hell of a guy on the other side that was going to get to you. It was a matter of when he was going to get to you. You know, he's going to sack you. So if we was able just to get that to where he only got 1.5, I'm happy he didn't get the record on us. I'm happy about that part.
Myles Garrett is like leaving me in the house with a pack of donuts, man.
Who's gonna win? You or the donuts?
I'm gonna win.
Pole donuts. Pole donuts. That's funny, man.
Eat me.
Get you got quick, like you thinking. Get you got quick.
No, I'm laughing at Plank talking about the donuts talking about eat me. Eat me.
Oh man.
Just a matter of time. Plays for me.
You know what? Myles Garrett reminds me. I can't remember the show, but it's a show that these the Grim Reaper that show up in like human form, and guys like this black guy's with his family, and he's out, and he's looking at him and freaks out. He said, "Well, let me just tell my wife goodbye." He said, "I can't do it. It's like it's time to go." It's like it don't matter where you at, what you do, he is gonna find you, man. I would, if we could some way or another, would y'all be willing to throw the bag at this dude if we knew we could get him?
Myles Garrett?
Yeah.
I can't see Cleveland trying to trade him, to be honest. He just signed a contract. That's a big salary cap hit for them, and they have to navigate what they're gonna do about Deshaun. So yeah. I would say if you're gonna eat any, as far as where you're at, and I think you would be rather to eat Deshaun, even though it's more because you're moving on versus Myles Garrett. Because Myles Garrett out of your defense, you're not competing in the AFC without him. I mean, it just that's not happening. And so I don't know. I just don't entertain it because I don't see why would they want to let him go, right?
Is Deshaun Watson still injured?
Yes, he's I think
for the practicing now. Yes.
Yeah,
he's practicing.
To go get a massage to get better. You know, I think he's a master at baiting too.
But he has assistants that he just don't pay.
If you was here at the beginning of the show, you heard the bearsbanter theme song. And that was made by Luke Sky as far as the lyrics. And so we just want to play another one of Luke Sky's videos through this. And make sure you hit the subscribe for bearsbanter. Hit the subscribe button. We're looking for 10 more subscribers from those who watched the show today. Share it with your loved ones. Hold on, let's run this video before we close out.
It's hard to lose when the main ones who doubted and doubtably get consumed. Had to put my hoodie on and calling me Dr. Doom. Doomsday has arrived, get high and act a fool. Better quit your 9 to 5, resign, drop out of school. I can hop up in the TARDIS, restart it. Who's Dr. Who? Who's the one who gave you permission to breathe? Break you into submission, they paying attention to me. The tension is rising, the pressure applying. And I've been having premonitions of diamonds, a plaque on every track. And gold on all of my teeth. Don't worry, I never need you, baby. Counted up all of my losses, you won't believe it, baby. I'm undefeated. Prescription, tunnel vision, it's open season. Lumberjack swinging the axe, calling it treason. Leasing our own and buying whatever cheapest. Get the chief on the phone and gather all the delinquents. White woman clutching their purses, holding their leash. All that wagon that she dragging, she probably call it Khaleesi.
Wow.
Man, that wordplay.
And does he take a breath?
Well, the problem is he's one of the very few rappers that actually I know that can read better than I can. He can read better. Kid's
Hey man,
amazing, man.
tell Luke Sky I got him, man. I got him. Watch. A B C D E F G I J. No. Yeah, boy. Yeah.
Oh.
Yes, sir, man.
Breaking news. 44-year-old Phillip Rivers just threw his first touchdown since I think it's like 4 or 5 years.
Wow.
Yes.
And the Colts are winning 13-3 over Seattle right now.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
All right.
Yeah, and Detroit and LA. I think both of them left their defenses at home, and Denver's beating Green Bay.
Okay.
And if he throws 3 touchdowns, everyone over 40 gets free liniment and massages.
What's the game in Green Bay? What's the score in the Green Bay game?
14-13. Denver just scored.
Come on, Denver.
Okay.
So what does that put us though? If they lose,
we're back in first.
We're back in first.
Back in first. Showdown again here in Chicago Saturday night.
Yeah.
That's what I want. That's what I want right there. And then I'm gonna be like Christian. Man, they just gotta win. Come on, man. They gotta win the game, man. Yeah.
Saturday night in Chicago ain't ever an easy win. I don't care who you are. So let's go.
Right.
Thank
everybody for tuning in. Did y'all have anything else before we close out? I'm sorry. I'm
I'm just saying the weather's going to be like 30, 35. So it ain't going to be that cold. That's the only disappointing part. I want it to be freezing. Yeah. That's it.
Like you had something, guy, before we close out. Did you want to say something?
Hey, if you got some shut-in people at the houses, man, during this weather, man, go check on them because it's brutal outside. You know, a lot of times, a lot of us that get a little older, we kind of like maybe get set in our ways and don't say stuff. And sometimes we need some people to save ourselves from ourselves. You know, check on your loved ones, check on those elderly people, man. Make sure. And if everybody's okay, stay your ass in the house.
Yeah. Hey, one last thing. Everybody should take off work on Tuesday. It's my birthday. Take off. Don't go to work. Screw the boss. Call off. Just call off.
Let's turn up.
National
it's
holiday.
all quick.
Yeah. It's called quick. Take you a quickie. I mean,
wait, that ain't how that name came up, is it?
That's what she said. I don't know.
The bastard.
I baited her up good though. That I was at baiting. No.
Hey, I don't know how JB's and them did it today. He was out there in the cold, you know, braving it out. But we'll hear from Jay when we do the pregame show next week. I guess we may end up doing it Thursday. I'm not sure because since the game is Saturday night, so we usually do it 2 days before. But until next time,